Okay, so today we are going to learn about geometry, and the word geometry comes from the root word geo, which means earth, and metron, which means measurement. So the definition of geometry is a branch of mathematics concerned with questions of shape, size, relative position of a figure, and the properties of a space. When we're learning geometry today, we are going to be using the Van Healy model. And the definition of a Van Healy model is a 5-level hierarchy model that describes the progressions of children's spatial geometric understanding. Each level describes the thinking process used in geometric context and how we think about those ideas. So the Van Healy model is a 5-level hierarchy model, but in elementary school we only go through 3 of the levels. We don't go through all 5. So the levels that we go through are level 0, which is visualization, which is really good for kids in pre-K, kinder, and first. They are the ones going through level 0 of the Van Healy model. And level 1 is analysis, and it is kinder, first, second, and third. And then the level 2 model, or the level 2 of the model, is informal deduction, which is for the upper grades such as 4 and 5. There are several misconceptions when learning with the Van Healy model, such as like sequencing. So like sequential is that a person must proceed through the levels in order. To function at a higher level, students must have acquired skills of the level below it. So this means that a student cannot jump from, like, they cannot skip levels. So a student has to go from level 0 to level 1 to level 2. They can't just go from level 0 to level 2. They have to go through all of the levels. The second misconception is advancement. Progress or lack of it from level to level depends on the content and the methods of instruction received and not age. There are no instructional methods that allow students to skip levels. And the third misconception with the Van Healy model is mismatch. So if a student is at one level and is instructed by a teacher that is at a different level, the desired learning and the progress will not occur. So this means that if a student is on level 0 and the teacher is teaching on level 2, the student is going to be completely lost. They are not going to understand anything that the teacher is trying to teach. And this can happen when, like, we look at the different levels right here, how like levels 0 and level 1, they both have kinder and first, so there's overlap. So when there's overlap happening in the classroom, it's really hard for the teacher to know what level to teach at. So she needs to be aware of all of her students. Okay, so now we are going to work on a level 0 problem, and our level 0 problem is for kindergarten. And when a student is on level 0, they can describe figures using the names of shapes. They can copy a shape, and they can draw a shape, or they can construct a shape, and they can separate the shapes into categories. But on level 0, they cannot focus their attention on the properties of shapes and compare the shapes based on their properties. So they don't really know what a square is, but they can tell you that it looks similar to something that they know, or that a rectangle looks like a door, but they might not know that it's called a rectangle. So our kindergarten TEK that we are going to use for our level 0 is classify and sort a variety of regular and irregular 2- and 3-dimensional figures, regardless of the orientation or size. So now I'm going to have Jackie come sort all of these shapes that we have. Okay, Jackie, can you sort these shapes, please?
Yes.
Okay, so can you tell me how you sorted these shapes?
One pile's pink and one pile's orange.
Okay, so you sorted your shapes by color.
Yes.
Okay, well, since we're working on shapes right now, can you maybe sort these in a different way? Maybe by the way that they look? And you don't have to use all the shapes. You can only use a few if you want. Okay, so how did you got 3 different groups, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so what are these?
They're like Easter eggs, I guess.
Kind of like Easter eggs, yeah. Okay, and what do these kind of look like to you?
Doors.
Yeah, they're similar to doors. And maybe if these are doors, what would these be on your house?
Like a window.
Yeah, so they're kind of like windows. So these all are very similar, but like these wouldn't really go together
No.
because they don't really look alike, right?
These
Okay.
kind of look alike, though.
Yeah, they do. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Jackie. Okay, so now we are going to work on a level 1 lesson. And in level 1, the students are able to compare shapes based on properties, which they could not do in level 0. But in level 1, they cannot explain the relationships between the properties. So we are going to do a 2nd grade lesson, and the technique that we are going to use is compose 2-dimensional shapes and 3-dimensional solids with given properties or attributes. So now I'm going to use Miss Jackie again, and she's grown 2 years. She's already in 2nd grade. So, okay, Jackie, I'm going to have you grab a marker, and I'm thinking of a shape, and I want you to draw me a quadrilateral. Okay, you drew a kite. I like that kite. Okay, but now I'm going to give you another hint that might help you, because a kite might be what I'm drawing, but it might not. But my 2nd step is the opposite sides are parallel. So that means that opposite sides can run side by side and never touch.
So like a square.
Okay, a square. And that my opposite sides are congruent. A rectangle. Well, so now what is your shape that you drew?
A rectangle.
A rectangle. Well, you're correct, because my shape was a rectangle.
Yay.
You must have read my mind. You're so smart. Okay, thank you, Jackie. Okay, so today we learned about geometry, and just to go over the definition again, it is a branch of mathematics concerned with questions of shape, size, relative position of a figure, and the properties of a space. And that we were working with the Van Healy model, which is a 5-level hierarchy model that describes the progression of a children's spatial geometric understanding. And that we have to remember when working with the Van Healy model that all of the students have to go in order from level 0 to level 5. They cannot skip levels, and that when you're working with students that you need to make sure that you're on the same level that they are, so that they're not lost and they're not confused. And then that is all that we have for today. So thank you.